You find people come with a cheat, and once they bring the cheat to the authorities in the port, they have no option. I must say that there are times when, if you count the number of vehicles that have been confiscated to the state and gone to the state warehouse, you can count over 1,000 vehicles. You know, I do recall something that we have done a paper on this at the time of Professor Mills, you know, in which we recommended that this whole thing should be stopped completely, and that there should be a PPP, a public-private partnership set up. They should have a mechanical yard. All the vehicles should be sent to this yard, and if there are repairs to be made, because some of the vehicles, in fact, are not drivable, and all of these will be towed and be sent to that yard. Repairs can be carried out. Government has a share, the private sector has a share. A portion of the vehicles would then be given to the police and then maybe to customs preventive. So all of these were suggestions that were made. But I must say that the politicians see it differently. They see it more as an avenue of providing, if you like, reward to party faithfuls.
For me, this is one more way in which we insult and abuse Ghanaians in the diaspora. People go abroad, work their butts off, so to speak, and really suffer through a lot of, sometimes indignity, to bring these things home. And then somebody sits here, says you can't pay the duty, and therefore it's been taken and allocated. Used to be allocated at the castle, national security, this, that. It still persists. This is an insult. It's really an abuse. The issue is not just corruption, it's a social justice issue. It's so unjust that I am shocked that in 2022, this practice persists.
What has happened to the pre-arrival inspection, pre-arrival assessment regime? What has happened? So now people are seeing little people. Let me tell you, before this thing came up, somebody told me that, look, at the port there we are joking. When you are importing something, you see your agent. What figure you want to pay is what they declare. And that's what they pay. I'm telling you. So it is a procedure that is being used by people, basically not to pay tax.
So you're happy the OSP is going there?
And I want the OSP to investigate the motivation for the benchmark values, which is against the law.
Okay.
And then two, I want to direct the OSP to pay attention to what we call the suspense regime at the port. Ladi, the suspense regime is the legal provisions that allow customs to suspend the duty until a later date. So for instance, if you are running a bonded warehouse and the items arrive, because you run a bonded warehouse, they will allow you and track you to the bonded warehouse. Anytime you are removing the item, you pay the duty. So like vehicles.
Yes, so they keep an officer there.
Exactly.
Right.
Good. That is the regime.
Okay.
Or if you are taking the items and they are for, say, import trade, export trade, it is supposed to go to Burkina Faso. It's expected to be paid there. That is where our problem is. Immediately those items leave the gate, there are no traces of them.
Okay.
So you first heard from a former CEO of the National Shippers Authority, Dr. Kofi Mbia. He was the one talking about how there could be over 1,000 vehicles, for auction at any given time. Executive Director of the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh, was the second person you heard talking about how it's a social injustice. That what happens at the ports with this whole auction and allocation and all that business. MP for Bolgatanga Central, Isaac Adongo, also was on the show, and he said, look, we also need to pay our attention to this whole benchmark values thing and the suspense regime at the ports. That is also a source of leakage. Mondriac.
We are told that about 38 billion is how much we lose at the ports every year. If you want to curb that, we know what to do. I frankly do not feel that it should take the special prosecutor to investigate how that ought to be dealt with. We can seal the loopholes if we really want to do so. is because mostly nobody loses their jobs for not sealing the loopholes, and nobody is held accountable for it. So beyond the rigmarole, and at some point we have to end the talk about this matter and get someone who will fix it. Someone whose continuous stay in office will be dependent on delivering on these goals, and not just talking about it or promising or pretending or hoping that an independent institution will do an investigation about this particular matter.
Yeah.
Well, Newsfile also touched on the issue of conflict of interest. They brought back that conversation. And then, of course, what's happening in Kumasi in terms of the traditional council. And now we understand it was a suggestion to the radio station to shut down, to show remorse. Prof. H. Kwesi Prempeh did a fantastic job tracing where we've come from in terms of chieftaincy and the role that they've played in our country. And I think that you should make time, if you missed Newsfile on Saturday, to listen to it.
Absolutely. It's interesting, though, because we do know what the real power of these chiefs are.
Yeah.
So when a chief makes a suggestion, depending on which chief is making the suggestion, chances are it will be adhered to as if it is a law.
Yeah.
So we understand the reality. But I think we need to also be careful what kind of precedents we set, so that we don't create a situation where unlawfully a chief can, either sanction or prohibit something which he should not be able to,
Right.
Sanction or prohibit. Okay, then let's get into the papers.
Let me start with the Daily Graphic. Is reporting this morning overage aircraft face ban. This measure is to ensure that the passengers are safe and everybody on board is also safe. So we are no longer, just like we don't want overage cars on our route, we surely will not want overage aircraft carrying people in the skies. Since now, some regions, more regions are getting airports. So we should be able to have important carriers so that we don't end up having accidents and all of the other negatives happening there. I'm cooperating with OSP investigations, and guess who is speaking here?
Colonel Damois.
Yes.
That's refreshing.
Colonel Kojo, yes. Yeah, I mean, power.
He's not a small boy anymore.
Yeah, I mean.
Or he's cooperating with the small boy.
No, with the office. The office is not a small boy. But now the man occupied may be purported to be a small boy. Yes, but the big man is cooperating with the small boy's office in this case. And that's very clear. The Commissioner for Customs Division of the GRA. And cashew is still among our top 10 non-export traditional earners. And that's also the misspread of the... Of the graphic has a story about fisheries, and since today we'll be spending a lot more time on fisheries. It's talking about the sector in retrospect, and that in 2020 the total annual fish production was estimated at about 471,000 metric tons, and talking about the difficulties in the sector. And this is from the PR office of the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. That news feature is big there. That's also in the Daily Graphic this morning.
Before I get into the Ghanaian Times, I'd just like to say that Professor Dennis Dominic Ajay, who was elected judge of the African Court, will be sworn in later this morning, Ray, at the opening of the ordinary session of the court. Earlier this year, he was appointed to the advisory committee of the International Criminal Court. We are absolutely very proud of the trainer of judges, a very competent man indeed, also a good writer of the law. All right, so let's get into the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page: don't tax offering tithe in churches. That's a call by Reverend Frimpong Manson to governments. He's added his voice and he says that, listen, you should rather strengthen the GRA to identify churches that operate businesses on the side and tax them to increase the country's revenue mobilization for national development. And then KNUST student face dismissal if governing council orders. I think what has been making headlines, particularly this weekend, has been the issue of the JCR system being abolished following that Kunti Kantanga clash. Yeah.
It's interesting. Anyway, well.
And then a sad one here: Hackman Swagman loses wife. According to details of it, they've been married for 54 years. and she sadly passed on Thursday, August 25th. And then 2 died in gory crash, 17 others sustained injuries in accident on Accra Cape Coast Highway. Also, court orders arrest of 4 over power thefts.
Now, the Finder is reporting this morning that in spite of the challenges, government has achieved a lot. That's the vice president. And that reminds me, there's something I'm seeing about the president saying that we have the people in a certain area are very lucky to have him as president. Have you seen those quotes? Yeah, it's a song we should play, right? It's a very interesting sound, very exciting sound, Yeah.
I thought he was talking to all of us.
Yeah, okay,
No?
maybe. Yeah, well, I thought it was only for. Yeah. But the other, we should not allow partisan politics to destroy the fight against Galamsey. Anyone anyone who's arrested will be put behind bars. That is Deputy Minister in charge of mining, George Mreku Duka. MPs inspect tiring of Fuasi Ayobi Road to Oda, and Ecobank Ghana gets high GCR ratings with positive outlook. That's in the Finder too. There's a story about the Oyepa FM shutdown. GJ to meet Kumasi Traditional Council today, and that's also in the. You did mention the very comments of, but the NMC says that they are going to resolve the issue. George Sapon is in the paper. Giving out how they are going to resolve the issue. And doctor saves 7-year-old boy from acute kidney injury. That's also another very touching story in the Finder today.
So how do we allow the shutdown and then we say we are going to resolve it?
Could the radio station have said we will not shut down?
Well, from everything that I have heard, I'm not sure that was an option.
There's an interesting part, right? So a judge, the Parliament of the UK invited an editor. The editor said he was too busy to attend their meeting and that he had just written the story. If they want to write anything on it, they should write it on it. That was the editor's response. In fact, he was saying he was too busy. I mean, he didn't have time to attend. Yeah,
And that's Parliament.
I dare say,
in fact,
I
in
dare
the
say
UK, Parliament is sovereign.
No, but I dare say in Ghana, you could also tell Parliament that.
Yeah, you can tell
But can
Parliament.
you
Hold
tell
you in
the
contempt.
Kumasi Traditional Council that?
Relax, so.
They'll hold you in contempt.
Oh,
Tell
so
Parliament
you can so you come at a later date.
I've asked for
Ayo.
that one. When Ken Oforiatta has been telling them that for ages.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you can.
So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that is okay. But I'm saying that we still.
But this
have
guy said
certain
he was not
laws.
going to go. Actually,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said no. I mean, he was
too
not going to
busy.
have to. Yeah.
We still have certain laws on our books that make it unlawful to deal with chiefs in certain ways.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is strange. It's strange because, I mean, you are allowed to do those same things to any other state institution, including the presidency,
Yeah.
but not to a chief. And there is a certain arbitrary nature of such powers. For a chief to tell you that shut down your radio station. In fact, in this case, we are told that it was a suggestion.
Yeah, that for us to accept your plea, it will be more pleasing to us if you shut up by Friday, then come the next time to meet us. That will show that you have shown remorse.
So what has happened now? They are coming to meet them today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So I suppose that's the point. That if you make such a suggestion, right, and the person you are suggesting it to has already accepted fault in the matter, that they didn't do the right thing.
Yeah.
Then you can see how this inexorably led to them shutting down.
Because they feel that that's the best way to get there. Yeah. But anyway, that guy did not feel that he had done anything wrong in the UK anyway. He did not feel that he needed. Yeah.
So that's the question. I mean, so now if Joy FM, publishes a story or hosts someone who says something that the chief is not happy about, can the chief come and tell Joy FM that we should shut down while we placate him?
maybe the offering will be different. In the case of Joy FM, they may say that something else. It could be arbitrary in the application of it. I sometimes struggle to wrap my mind around things like the ban on drumming and dancing with the rich bread and all of the other things, and how they situate themselves in a Republican state. Yeah, but what can we do?
But that's the precedence that we seem to be setting with this. Well, in connection with that, we're told that Odike is to appear before the Kumasi Traditional Council today.
Okay. All right. Let's go online. The review online is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, Eden Heights Luxury has a new destination, and Bigu Drink.
Now, Goyle, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life ever so convenient. Goyle now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases at key selected stations. Just remember to Momo it at Goyle. That's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at Goyle, and this is made possible by APSA. Drive to Goyle stations now, buy your fuel, pay by Momo, or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit Goyle social media platforms. Facebook is Goyle.official. Instagram is Goyle_GH, and Twitter Goyle_official. For more information on the service stations, you can conveniently use Momo. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, yeah, yedim.
All right, good morning to Chidi and all of our friends at Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank is making it very easy for you to connect your Ghana card to your account. So you just go to zenithbank.com.gh and then you follow the instructions. So straightforward. You can do it wherever you are, okay? But you really need to, because very soon you won't be able, in fact, you won't be able to effect any transactions if you haven't done so, okay? Zenithbank.com.gh. Go there today and do it. It's easy, quick, and convenient. Zenith Bank in your best interest. It will take a new Chief Justice to repair the broken image of the judiciary, and that's John Mahama making that claim. Just a quick question. How many years till the Chief Justice retires?
How old is he now?
I think it's a couple of years, yeah.
So it's likely that this government will appoint the next Chief Justice?
Yes, that's most likely.
Okay. All right. Let's go to citynewsroom.com. No lion has escaped from Accra Zoo. That's the Forestry Commission making that declaration. Also, the story of a lion having killed a middle-aged man is there. Bizarre story. NASA ready to launch new era of moon exploration is also on the BBC website. Time now for the BBC News, brought to you by
Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Telefonica Ghana celebrating 20 years of legacy, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.